Ladies
God.
and gentlemen, welcome to your Monday episode, your pop culture roundup. I am so excited for so many reasons today, but my main reason is that I get to talk to somebody I love talking to. I haven't talked to her in months. She recently just got verified on Instagram, folks. So that means she shouldn't even be here. She is so far beyond me in this show right now, but she has decided to come on a Sunday. She is post brunch. She is couple mimosas deep. She's got some 1942 by the side, just like Kylie Jenner, mind you. And we're going to talk about Kylie today, but you know her, you love her as at IG Famous by Dana on Instagram. Dana Omari, welcome to the show.
Oh my God, Ryan, I could never that was such an amazing intro. I will always be on your show, by the way. Doesn't matter.
No, by the way, we had talked recently that I was like, we gotta do more of these. And then time goes so fast. It just but last time I talked to you, you were already doing great, but you're at 256,000 followers right now. You got verified. All of these things are happening. Does it still blow you away thinking about your life 3 years ago and thinking of your life now?
Literally, I can't even I don't even understand how this happened. I cannot believe I even got verified. I found out I was verified. I was at a photo shoot that I paid for. This was not like a cool photo shoot. I was like, I need more pictures of me. And I was showing the photographer pictures I didn't like from other photographers that I've had. And I was like, oh my God, is that a blue check? Literally in the middle.
Wait, so they just gave it to you and you didn't even know it was going to be, they just randomly said, Dana, we like you so much here on Instagram.
Well, you have to apply. They never just, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe if you're Jennifer Aniston, you automatically get it. But me, I applied 3 times last year and got denied every single time. I applied with the same, you have to prove you're a public figure. I applied with the same content, all the same.
Wait, what did you send them? Like Kyle on Ozempic? And they were like, that's good. I like that.
I sent 3 articles, 2 were features. I sent them the time I was unfortunately in Candace Owens' documentary, and I was recently in another documentary.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I sent them all 5. The same things I sent in October that they denied me, I sent them again. I was like, why not? Let's try it. And they approved me.
God, I gotta, it's like I've been in the Washington Post and the New York Times and stuff like that. I should try. Who knows? But you know what I think it is? I always think this about your account and my friend Kiki Talk of Shame and stuff like that, is that you guys genuinely provide a service. You're funny. Don't get me wrong, but I do very silly things. There's a little spices of entertainment information, but you really go deep into beauty trends. You go deep, I was talking to Kirby Johnson, who does the makeup, the Los Angeles pod, and she has a really good account I like too. But it's this stuff I don't know about. So when I go to your guys' account, I always learn something. And I think that's a huge benefit and why I love Instagram so much.
I would say the same about your page, because you definitely are a little bit more caught up on the Bravo world and pop culture than I am. So a lot of what you post, either I'm like, oh, wait, that's something I didn't think about while I was watching that, or, ooh, I need to watch that because this is an amazing review, or, you have hilarious things about whatever's happening. So there are times where I will literally watch an episode. For example, don't hate me, I don't love the OC. I don't love Real Housewives of Orange County. I don't watch it.
Listen, that I can totally understand why you wouldn't.
But I watch every episode that you talk about. So I don't watch the whole season, but you'll talk if there's a very
hear that Instagram.
Yeah.
Are you listening, Instagram? Hear that?
Right.
Okay.
Also the OC. I only watch you when Ryan Bailey tells me about it, and then I watch it. I'm not joking. I'm serious. I'm 100% serious.
No, I just like to deflect when anybody gives me a compliment. Let's rip the Band-Aid off, though. We're going to start with something I originally asked you on the show to talk about. We've got a lot to talk about, but let's start at the beginning, is because now this is interesting. On Twitter, I had seen a picture of Kyle Richards from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and she was showing off her ripped abs. And I was like, oh my God, is she going to do a bodybuilding competition like Teresa Giudice and Tamra did on their respective housewife shows? And then, and by the way, I want to make this very clear.
We think she looks amazing.
But yeah, I really don't want to get into, because by the way, I haven't seen my abs in like 20 years now. And it looks, I mean, looks so cool to have abs. But I said, and I retweeted this and I said, is Kyle on Ozempic too? We talked briefly about Ozempic last time, which is a diabetic drug, and it really does seem to produce results. There's a lot of theories that the Kardashians are on it as well. And I just thought, wow, because Kyle's always been somewhat health conscious. She's always walking with Freddie Mellencamp. We always get her paparazzi photographs working out. And so and by the way, I wasn't saying that like, oh, boo, Kyle. I was like, is she on Ozempic too? Because it seems like at a certain age, my metabolism slows down. Then I went to your Instagram page. You had done the same thing in your stories. And I was like, oh, I got to talk to you about this.
Right.
And by the way, Kyle has responded to you. Will you fill us in?
Yes, I will talk about
your feelings.
Right. But first, I do want to really talk very quickly about Ozempic. Ozempic is a drug that was made for diabetes, but it has since been found that semaglutide, which is the active in Ozempic, that it is actually amazing for weight loss. And it is now approved for weight loss in obesity and overweight individuals under the name Wegovy. Mounjaro is a very similar, it's called tirzepatide. So we have semaglutide, we have tirzepatide, is basically semaglutide, Ozempic on steroids. Like it's even more beastlier in terms of
these seems like all names of like bands at Coachella that I don't know about. I'm like, what are you?
So they're Wegovy. So when people are like, it's a diabetic med, it's diabetic med. It is also a medication that is made for weight loss. The earlier versions, liraglutide, we have Saxenda, Victoza. So when you say, oh, the Kardashians are rumored to be on it, I actually have a few really great sources that said the Kardashians started on liraglutide, so Saxenda or Victoza, and then they moved to semaglutide, whether it's Ozempic, Wegovy, a compounded version or whatever. So just want to clear
I'm going to need you to start speaking English at a certain point, because you just said a bunch of words.
Okay, so basically just saying it is also approved, FDA approved. It's not even just off label, but FDA approved for weight loss. So when people are like diabetic, I'm like, it's also approved for weight loss. Now, when it comes to me, I am on compounded semaglutide. I'm not on the brand name Ozempic. When it comes to me or Kyle's, definitely vanity and not necessarily that we were obese and on it. But anyway.
Wait, I do want to point that out. You had mentioned that last time too, is that you were very honest saying that you were on it as well. And you were like, yes, but also wanting to point out you were also exercising on it as well. Like I believe Kyle and the Kardashians potentially do.
So Kyle, here's my thing with Kyle is that she has been working out her entire life, first of all. But when she met Teddy, I think she really like bunkered down and really got into fitness, you know?
Freddie was like, are you all in, Kyle? Are you all in?
Are you all in, Kyle? Like 5+ years. And we saw actually a change from before she met Teddy. And then when she met Teddy, there was a change in her body, her physique. You know, it was very obvious. But then suddenly in the last 6 months, she is now thinner, smaller than she has ever been. Ever. Like even like I'm looking at pictures of her when she was 19, 20, before she even had Farrah, smaller now, more built now, you know? And I'm like, that doesn't happen suddenly from what she said was yoga, cycling, and running. And I was like, baby, no.
And she recently said, I think this weekend or this past week, she's cut out sugar, alcohol, and carbs. And I'm like, okay, that's also great. Like that's also, but still, I've had periods of time where I've done similar things and I do see results, but I don't see the type of results. The last time we saw Kyle on television, I guess, was at the reunion for Beverly Hills, which is only 4 months ago or so. I mean, it's, you know, when they filmed it. So I was just shocked when I saw these pictures because the definition on the abs, and people want to argue all day, guys. People want to argue this, like, why can't you let her? It's not about letting her have. I think she looks great, even if she's on semaglutide. But it's bothering me because it's like these results are happening so much quicker than usual when you really put the work in.
I do want to say that her her stomach has a lot of features of that she's had a tummy tuck and has had ab etching. But
that's it, ab etching. People were saying ab etching to me in my comments.
Yeah, because the ab lines are a little bit off from where they should be if they were natural, but it doesn't matter because you know what? If I could afford ab etching, I've never had abs in my life. I've even lost all the weight and gotten to, you know, closer to where I was when I was in college, still have never had abs in my life. I would totally do it. So no hate there. But I did post about it. And then someone said a very well-known blind item person just revealed that, of course, because she keeps saying no Ozempic. I'm not on Ozempic. And I'm like, okay,
yeah.
you can say no as Ozempic, but maybe you're on Wegovy. Maybe you're on compounded semaglutide. Maybe you're on Mounjaro.
Yes.
It's kind of like being like, I don't drink Coke, but it's because you drink Pepsi, you know, like it doesn't mean you don't drink soda, right? It doesn't mean you don't drink soda. It just means you don't drink Coke. And so I posted like, okay, like that makes sense. If she's on Mounjaro is amazing. She DM'd me and she goes, this is all quote.
Kyle did.
Kyle DM'd me and said, quote, also not true. All I said was, still love you though, heart.
I saw that. You posted that.
Right. Well, I actually didn't post it. I didn't post that.
Sorry.
I sent it to you.
Yeah.
I sent it to you. Yeah.
Sorry.
Right. So then after that, she said, and this is quote, I'm reading directly from my phone. It's so frustrating because I've been working so hard to get here. I haven't had alcohol, sugar, carbs, etc. for 6 months as of January 15th. I work out every day, but people want to believe what they want to.
Mm-hmm.
To let that sit.
Sure.
So I believe that. Do I believe she's been working out? Yes. Do I believe she's cut all this stuff out? Yes. But it doesn't mean you're not on this medication. It's like when Mindy Kaling was like, I'm just eating less food. Yes, that's literally what this medication does. Like I talked about mine. I was like, I eat like a toddler. I don't know if
your appetite disappears, right?
Yeah, your appetite disappears. You get fuller quicker. You also have like much less cravings, if any at all. So studies have been showing that people are drinking less, they're smoking less, in addition to cutting back on, you know, sugar. Like, you know, when you're like, oh, I want a cookie. I don't have those cravings anymore. I don't crave anything. You can ask my fiance. He's like, you eat like half of a taco. And I'm like,
but yeah, by the way, that would piss me off. Dana, that would piss me off if I was your fiance, because I like to eat. And if then my girl's only taking a couple bites of something, well, or I would actually then eat her food too, probably. So he might.
I think he is a little pissed off, but also he has the metabolism of something like that pisses me off. So it's fine.
See, I hate those guys with good metabolisms. That's so unfair to people.
Right. Like his idea of being on fizz, his abs show less. I'm like, okay, I've never had abs.
Because abs are a little puffier today.
Yes.
The other thing too, just to bring Chloe into this, is that in the new year, Us Weekly always does these articles every like 5 months where it's like, Chloe claps back at a hater. And the hater just said something about being on Ozempic. And she goes, girl, you don't realize how hard I work out. And I'm like, two things can be true at once. You can work your ass off and you can still be on this. And together it is forming amazing results.
Right, exactly. So it's like, exactly, Chloe, we have watched you work your ass off for 10 years.
Yes.
And then suddenly in 6 months, like you're super tiny. Like it.
And your sisters and Kim is super tiny.
And Kylie, Stassi, Kylie's friend, has never been this small, and now she's like this.
I know it almost makes me respect Courtney more, because Courtney has, well, I mean, still probably an insane body, but a more natural body compared to her sisters.
I know. Well, but Courtney is, I don't give a fuck. You know, like Courtney's like, whatever, y'all do that.
I know, that's what I like. I love that she's like truly, she's on her own journey, but it's like, I'm seeing more normality in terms of like what I noticed compared to her sisters. It's like, how did your sisters all in 1 year, 2 of them decide to go like gone?
3. We have to talk about Kylie's in there too, but yes, 3.
Okay. Dude, Kylie's like 25 years old. What the hell? Like, my God, give your body. Well, what are the, is there bad effects of this drug? If you're, because I was watching some, I think it was Remy Bader on the Not Skinny, Not Fat podcast, and she said she was on it and then went off it and gained double the weight back, I believe.
Yeah. So that was clickbait in my opinion. And like, no shade to Remy. I love her. I love her so much. But she, first of all, had binge eating disorder, which she's talked about. She also stated that she has pre-diabetic lab values, or she was pre-diabetic. She, first of all, should have been on this medication long-term. There are plenty of people and they have amazing results. It's not even about weight loss, like for their lab values, for their health, that they need to be on it long-term. So it's going to be if you're diabetic, you're pre-diabetic, you have PCOS, you have struggled with obesity for a long period of time, because obesity is a very difficult condition that's usually compounded by a lot of things like genetic. It's never just eat better and work out for obesity. Let's say that, right? Yeah. So like in her case, she is, quote, obese and has been for the majority of her adult life. She has binge eating disorder. She had pre-diabetic values. She was only on it for 3 months. And she said when she it helped her while she was on it, she wasn't binging, but when she got off of it, she went back to binging. And it's like, you would reasonably expect if you get off of medication, you start binging, that you're going to gain all the weight back. So if I'm a dietitian, if she were my patient, I would have been like, why are you getting off of your treatment? It's like if you were depressed and you just got off of your SSRI or whatever.
Oh,
you had high blood pressure.
I mean, I've gotten off SSRIs before, and it's like, wow, what a really scary feeling.
Right.
That's why they recommend you going down. Right. Like, don't do it cold turkey, go down and down, because it really does show you what it does to the body. But then even in terms for you though, you noticed results as a dietitian. I'm guessing you were not pre-diabetic, but like you said,
no,
this is
I had
now
no health
approved.
Issues. It was a vanity issue for me, honestly. And I'll say that.
But I love that you admit that. And what I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with that. Kyle wants to look better. Kim and Chloe want to look better. So there's nothing inherently wrong. I think the lying part of it is another thing that is making me dislike pop culture and more, whether it be from Jen Shaw or this stuff, is that nobody tells the truth anymore.
True, but I do definitely understand, because there is a huge backlash with this, because first of all, there's the misconception that you're taking medications away from diabetics who need it. First of all,
yes, that's what I hear. Yeah.
Right. So first of all, this is not a life-saving medication for diabetics. It is a secondary medication. It's not insulin. Like if they don't have it, they will not die. And there are 6 GLP agonists on the market. So truly, if it was so necessary, they could move on to Saxenda or Victoza, which are, liraglutides. There are other medications on the market. I am not saying that diabetics do not deserve access. They 100% do, but so do obese people. And also anyone who, between them and their provider.
Wait, you cut off.
So sorry. Okay. Anyone who, between them and their provider, have decided that this is the right medication for them, I think that is what they should be allowed to do. The fact that it's being put on us as the consumer instead of the makers is beyond me. So there's a lot of backlash with that, like, oh, you're taking medications from diabetics. And it's like, no, I'm not. Second of all, we have also made weight loss and like what we look like, we've moralized it. We've made it into, you should work hard for that. If you don't work hard for it, you don't deserve it. And it's like, why are we moralizing weight and body? That's insane to me. So I don't deserve it. You think it's a shortcut? You think I'm lazy? Why? Why?
No, I love this conversation so much, because it brings up, and like I've struggled with weight my whole life myself. Like I yo-yo, I've never like, and by the way, I've said to the audience, if anybody wants to give me free Ozempic, guess what? I'm going to do it. If there's back alley Ozempic somewhere, I will go in that back alley. And I don't think I can afford the real Ozempic, but if anybody, but you know what I'm saying? Like I
could probably hook you up. I can probably hook you up.
But I've struggled with weight my whole life, and it really does matter to me. And I know it doesn't matter to other people, but like how I see myself, I've struggled with, low self-esteem because of looks and all of this stuff. So this
Well,
is
you
an
live in
interesting
LA.
conversation.
Doesn't everyone have low self-esteem out there because everyone's so
Yeah,
beautiful?
that's it. Kind of. Yeah, kind of. I was thinking about that last night. I was like, I work out with a trainer now. I work out and I'm like, I, I still like, I'm like, okay, I could probably outbench a lot of the people in LA at this point, but like,
Right.
I don't, it's like, anyways, enough about me. Did Kyle say anything else? Because by the way, I do want to shout out
Yes.
Kyle. Congratulations on the sugar, alcohol. I know how insanely tough that's for anybody. And you look
Right.
amazing. But I kind of was thinking too, do you ever have this imagination of like, I'm picturing like whoever introduced it to that friend group. Now I'm thinking Freddie Mellencamp's on it. Now I'm thinking that whole group of girls is just jonesing for Ozempic, and it makes me kind of laugh.
It's not even just jonesing. Like, I've talked to a lot of people who are celebrities or low-key celebrities, and they're like, oh no, it's an open secret that everyone's on it. And then they just don't want to talk about it to the public because the public is not understanding why these people who are relatively thin or relatively fit are getting thinner, right? Like what our obsession with thinness in general. And so, like, one person, I can't say her name because she was like, don't mention this, but she went to a wedding this past summer, late summer, and she said the groom or maybe the best man, I don't know, somebody, when he was giving a speech, he was joking about how this wedding should have been sponsored by Ozempic because everybody showed up to the wedding 20 pounds lighter than they should have been.
And nobody ate. Nobody ate.
Right.
They
Nobody
canceled the
ate.
deal.
Yeah, we paid all this money. Nobody ate the food. We paid like $100 a head. Nobody ate the food. Andy Cohen made a joke that like all the housewives are coming to their new seasons that they're filming 20 pounds lighter. He was like,
God.
Ozempic. And also I want everyone to start saying semaglutide because we keep saying Ozempic. There's Wegovy, there's Mounjaro's technically tirzepatide, but again, it's like a stronger semaglutide. We should just be talking about it with the generic names because there are a lot of options to get there. Just saying.
You know what, to be curious, Dana, is if Ozempic is having the best year ever in terms of sales, like what the sales figures are. If you've seen it shoot way up, I would be so curious.
Well, first of all, so the makers are Novo Nordisk. They've never been hurting for money, right? These pharmaceutical companies, like they're able to wine and dine everybody. Companies. Right. Those poor people are able to have $10,000 dinners, no big deal, whatever. They're never hurting. But part of the backlash is like it's been Wegovy and Ozempic have been hard to get since March 2022. Before it went viral on TikTok, before all of that, it was already on back order with a disruption in manufacturing and now like more demand. It's been on back order. So basically, they're just raking in the money. They're raking in the money and they're trying to sue the compound. So I get compounded semaglutide, which means the pharmacists make it in-house. A whole nother topic there, but like, they're making basically a generic version. It'd be like if I made my own, Coca-Cola instead of buying the can with my little soda pop stream or whatever. That's what they're doing. And Novo Nordisk is going after these compounding pharmacies and trying to sue them because there's technically patent laws, which, I hope
crazy.
Doesn't come through because like, then where will I get my supply if I have to pay out of pocket for the brand name? I can't afford the brand name.
Kyle, so damn knowledgeable about. Wait, so did you say there was anything else that Kyle said?
Yeah. So so basically, again, when she said, I'm so frustrated because I've been working so hard, blah, blah, blah. That mirrors what Chloe said. Like, I've been working my ass off.
Yes.
What these women, I want everyone to hear this. What these women are very concerned about is that people think they haven't been working. They are afraid that people are going to think that they're taking the easy way out, that they're lazy, whatever. Both of these women have been working their asses off for this. And so they're concerned, like when she said, I'm frustrated because I've been working so hard to get here. I haven't had alcohol, sugar, carbs, blah, blah, blah. That's what she's concerned about. So I said, for what it's worth, I personally don't think it means you haven't worked hard if you're on it. really,
Did
it's
you
a
tell her
tool.
you're on it? Did you tell her you're on it?
Yeah. I said, I'm on compounded semaglutide. And I've finally been able to lose my COVID weight and then some because of this. And I said, you look amazing. I'm happy for you. And she did say, I would share if I was. I 100% don't believe it. I love Kyle. Don't believe that. She said, but thank you. Prayer hands.
Wait. You can I give you $100 if you write back, hey, Kathy, your sister told me you were on it? No, I'm joking.
Now with my blue check.
Just mess with her. Just mess with her. No, okay. So I do believe they genuinely work hard, but I just know what it's like to work hard and not see results. It's got to be exciting to work hard and see the results. And yeah, like you're doing it with help of something else, but who doesn't do things with help from, like, whether it be helping people? I don't really care about that part of it. So this is fascinating. Let's move on though. We got a lot of stuff to cover, and we might come back to this, but in further Kardashian news, even though people really hate when I talk about the Kardashians, I love this. And I saw your story today, and I'd already found this out last night, but Kylie Jenner, congratulations. It only took a little under a year to name her child. It was originally Wolf, and that was by Travis. And then they, I guess, decided they didn't like Wolf. And now they finally, out of nowhere on a Saturday, you guys, Kylie not only gives us the name, but also shows the baby just out of nowhere. And there's no
He's so cute. He's so cute.
Oh, guys, I want to say this. There's nothing to do with making fun of a kid here. I'm going, like, the baby's name is Aire, Aire, correct?
Right. Exactly. Which basically is just air, like the air you breathe, misspelled, or I think it's supposed to be a cute spelling on air, Heir. Like, if I was Stormy, I'd be like, what does this mean? Like, where's my inheritance, first of all? And then also like billionaire, millionaire, the last part of that air, Aire. That's what I think they're going for.
Heir to the throne or billionaire. But also it was
Stormy
pointed out. And
Stormy should be concerned, honestly, in my opinion.
Stormy was like, change my name to Aire.
Yeah, Storm Air.
Storm. Actually, that's nice. But the funny thing is, and this is probably they didn't realize, in Arabic, what does Aire mean?
It's slang for penis. It really means dick or cock.
By the way, Travis is probably like, hell yeah, my kid's name is Dick. Yeah. Right. That's kind of baller in a way. Like, people are like, that's kind of funny, but at the same time, who knows? That could be like street cred in later years,
Maybe. I mean, my fiance did say, like, you shouldn't have to worry about other languages or whatever. But I'm like, but when you're like that famous and like people who speak these other languages, we do think about that. Like my friend Dima, who's Arab, she was like, the Arabi, so the Arab community, have been having too much fun with this on TikTok. And I'm like,
oh, yeah. Really?
Yeah, like it's like you named your kid, like you named your kid a slang term for a penis. But it made me think of, like, this one follower told me that in like Scotland, Ireland, fanny means vagina. That's why they call them bum bags over there. And so when they see Americans say fanny pack, they're like, they're saying vagina pack. They're saying vagina.
I really always learn so much from you. But Dana, I get scared with these celebrity names because I'm like, I'm scared that our names are just going to go out of style, like Dana, Ryan. Like, what about like a Bobby or a Theodore? Like, like a normal name? Everybody has to go so fancy now with their names.
Right.
The other thing, when you deal with the Kardashians, you deal with the Da Vinci Code of why they're posting now.
Right.
Why do you think? Because usually there's something going on behind the scenes to distract us. That's the theory, a working theory that a lot of people have. Why do you think Kylie, out of nowhere on a Saturday, dropped the baby's picture and name just out of nowhere?
I think honestly, because nobody was talking about her. She posted some super gorgeous, I mean, she's beautiful, gorgeous, sexy pictures of her and Stassi. It didn't even make a blip in the radar, right? Like, none of us were like, okay, there are your gorgeous boobs. There's you and Stassi, like, kind of teasing some lesbian, play, because they're like all, on each other, touching each other, and very skimpy wear. and not one article was written about it. Like not
been
one
there, done that.
bit.
But
Right.
we've seen that over and over again. It's
Right.
like a sequel to a sequel to a sequel. We don't need to, like, I genuinely don't care anymore. I know she's technically beautiful. I've just seen it so many times that it doesn't even register.
Exactly. So what I really think is that she dropped all these very sexy, beautiful pictures of herself and her with her friend, and not even a blip in the radar. Like nobody paid attention. Like we were like, okay, we like it, cool, whatever. Like I didn't repost it, you didn't repost it. No other pop culture, nothing like actually cared about it. And she was probably like, shit, I haven't had attention in a while. That, you know, I need to get my engagement up. I mean, we've all done this as creators. We're like, oh shit, we haven't had engagement in a while. We need to like churn out something. And that's truly what I believe happened. Is she was like, I put the sexiest pictures of myself out, the most beautiful pictures I've taken in a while, and nothing. I need to like amp up my game.
And when the Travis information came out around January of like they're no longer together, I didn't care. Like I was like, oh, I didn't even think you guys were together. Like I don't care.
Right. We're like, we thought we knew that y'all weren't together.
Yeah, guys, wait, you're just finding out now, Kylie? I've known for a long time you guys weren't together. That's
I'd be more surprised if he like proposed to you. Like that would be like a holy shit, they're engaged, they're getting married.
I just wonder though, like what's like, okay, I did the baby, that's going okay. Like what is next for Kylie? Like, you know, the makeup from what I hear is not selling like it used to. I don't know if that is true or not. But I do wonder. And then you had Kim. Kim spoke at Harvard for a 2-hour speech on Friday at Harvard Business School. And we saw all the photos. And I just think I don't know. It's like, that's wild on a whole different way. But she did. Skims is a multi-billion-dollar company. So I understand that. I just think all the pictures and like it's like another wish fulfillment where I feel like the last year and a half we've seen a lot of, and she's gone through a lot of tragedy, which we don't get to see on the show, but on the show, it's like a Make-A-Wish Foundation for Kim every week. Like got the Maryland dress. I walked in.
She buys every celebrity. Have you seen all the memes of it's like where people are making jokes about all the things Kim is buying? So she's bought all these celebrities. Yeah. And so now they're like making jokes. So like she also bought Dana from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills $25,000 glasses. Yeah,
I said she bought.
Historians are concerned.
I said she bought Dorit's room at Buca de Beppo for $3.2 million.
I saw that. It's like she bought the room. I like historians are concerned.
Do you ever get scared? You probably don't, because you're usually more straightforward than I am. But I get scared when people are like, "She did? That's bullshit." Like they believe it, and I'm like, wait, why would you ever? Come on, that's such a like. She bought a Buca de Beppo. Come on, guys. Like, if I had money, I would do that. But Kim, that's a complete joke. She did buy Janet Jackson's outfit from the music video. What song was it? It was like iconic. She paid $35,000 for that. She paid $200,000 for Princess Diana's cross necklace last week. But it is weird. I keep thinking of like, where's the line between cosplay and creating your own mystique, creating your own look, have your own pieces that people want to buy one day.
True. But also I always think about it this way. If we had that much money, you and I, like if we had like millions and millions and millions, and we know like our kids are like set, our great kids are set if we decide to have them, like what would you spend your money on? Like I feel like I would buy bullshit. I'd be like, okay, here's this $17,000 vodka sold. Why? Because $17,000 is a drop in the bucket for me. Like what? Like that. I
bought a Tom Girardi photo from his law office, and this is his actual law photo from his office. This was money real money I spent. So I know I would buy bullshit, but I'm saying when I get to Kim Kardashian's level, which won't happen, but if I ever did, I would keep it. Like I'd be like, I'm going to buy this, but if anybody fucking tells on me, you're dead, because I don't want anybody to know I bought the Batmobile, you know?
Right. But also they live for getting any kind of press. So it kind of goes like, do we want people to know, or do we want people to talk about it? You know?
Well, Dana, where are you from originally?
Like, so I'm Arab, but I was born in Tennessee and I live in Houston, have lived in Houston now for a lot of years, many years.
Well, I don't know if you know, but I'm from Spain, Majorca.
Nice.
No, I'm not. I'm
Are
not.
you
But
joking? Are you
Baldwin,
serious? Okay, okay.
I'm
I was
totally
like,
joking.
no, are we doing
I'm
that?
totally. No. But I do want to bring up a big
Are you,
thing that happened
Hilaria, Rion. Are you
Hilaria,
Rion?
Hilaria Baldwin. So this is
Ryan
another thing where
Bailey.
I'm not. Yeah, right. We have my family. You know, Bailey's a Spanish name, so
Obviously, well, it's Bele there, right?
Bele. Yeah, you guys wouldn't understand how to pronounce it because you're American. But um, Friday, this is another story that I want to make sure it's not about kids. So Hilaria was interviewed on the streets. She was taking her baby for a walk, and paparazzi were.
Please, I'm interrupting you.
Sorry,
Please call Hillary from Boston.
From Boston, which is her real name. She was taking her baby, and paparazzi were swarming. It's a very scary situation. I'm sure you could argue, of course, that you would know it would be, so don't take your baby out there. But regardless, she stopped the paparazzi and gave a speech. Ryan, put the speech in here right now. 12:39, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, the thing that you're going to notice about that is that's a very pronounced accent on certain words. Mommy, they have got to say to their mommy that mommy, and you guys, she truly, and people have been like arguing about this too, guys. It's literally a con that she's been doing for so long, and she needs to drop it because she's lived in New York since 2015. So if anything, she should have a New York accent if we go by that. She has an appreciation for Spanish culture. Her parents don't speak with an accent, you guys.
Yeah. And they only moved to Majorca. They moved. I want to say this. They always lived in Connecticut and Massachusetts. Yeah. They moved to Majorca, Spain, in retirement. Like they visited her whole life, which is cool, whatever. Yes. But she literally, when she's like, my family lives in Majorca. Yeah, as of like 10 years ago or something.
My parents moved to Gilbert, Arizona from Paradise Valley, Arizona. Like it
means you're from Arizona, obviously. You're actually at this point, you might even be Native American. Check it.
Yeah, Tatanka. I just think, to me, it was not because what she was saying about the paparazzi, I completely agree with. Right. I'm not going to give you like, why do you guys keep doing this? Of course. And it's really scary when you see the kids in these shots. I don't agree with any of that shit.
No. The paparazzi following the kids to school, like that's bullshit. But we are talking about how she delivered the message, not the message itself. The message itself is we agree with. Like, why are you following children? But why are you talking in a Spanish accent you don't have, Hillary? Like Hilaria is not even a real name.
It's gotten worse. By the way, she did interviews like in the last year where it was like almost gone. And now I don't know if it's a trigger for her with trauma where she amps it up again, but it started to sound like Salma Hayek in certain, or, it sounded like,
like a Spanish person or a Hispanic person.
Who am I thinking of? Vicky Cristina Barcelona, Penelope Cruz.
Penelope Cruz.
Yeah. Like I just, it was so ridiculous to watch because I'm trying to hear the message. And then all of a sudden, all I hear is this accent. And I just was like, this is so far beyond what I thought it was. And this has been going on for 2 years now that she got busted originally. You would have thought she would have. But here's another thing, just like Wegovy and Ozempic, why not just tell the truth at this point and say, yo, I don't know, man, life is fucking hard. It was such a weird time. I'm so sorry. I hope I'm sorry to Alec. Sorry to because Alex got on so many talk shows even before 2 years ago. It was like, well, my wife's Spanish, and he would do this ridiculous accent on these shows. And I don't know. It just made me live it all over again. Cause you're talking about essentially this death of a woman, a cinematographer on the set of Rust, which Alex has now been charged with, which I also think is a traumatic situation. And
for everyone all around.
And I don't really even know how I feel about that because I know Alec did not mean to, and that's why it's involuntary manslaughter.
And I think he'll be fine. Like I don't think he'll serve jail time, but that's a legitimate charge. Anytime you accidentally kill somebody, even if you didn't mean to, it's not about intention. Yeah. If I accidentally kill you, like that's what happens. you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's taken so long for them to come to this conclusion. And if you read, or I was watching an interview with some of the prosecutors, and they said they knew early on that they were going to charge him. And I was like, why did you wait this long to? But regardless, I just kind of think
really quick. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
would you ever just fire a gun at somebody, even if you truly thought there wasn't a bullet? Would you ever like point a gun at somebody and then pull the trigger? You know what I mean?
No,
like,
no,
right. I'm not saying,
but
I know it was an accident. I know, like, I'm just saying, like, that's just one of those things, like, you just don't do. If someone pointed a gun at me, even if they're like, don't worry, it's not loaded, I'd be like, you just pointed it at me. What the hell? You know?
Well, it shows you this was not a big budget studio feature. They had a really rookie armorer who is in charge of the guns. I was reading emails too, is that the armorer was actually overworked and she was asked to do props on the film as well last minute. So she was going back and forth and she was saying, hey, this is how mistakes get made. She made a huge mistake. There shouldn't have been live rounds, but I've been on movie sets and rehearsal, and it's the rehearsals, guys. You sometimes do go, okay, then I go, ba, 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 ba. And it was very ignorant on Alex's part, but he's somebody that's been doing this so long, he should have known. It's so many different variables.
But it also, like I said, it doesn't matter. Even if you literally did not have any intention, like whatever, if I accidentally pushed you into a pool, not even knowing you can't swim and you drown, like it's still a charge on me. Like that's just what the law is. But I do have a question. This is probably neither here nor there. Where did they put real bullets in the gun, or were they blanks, or like what?
No. This is the crazy part that we still haven't gotten full answers for. Right. There was a live round in the gun, and on further inspection.
You've been on, I'm so sorry for interrupting, but like, why you've been on movie sets, you're an actor, you've done things. Why would they ever have a live real bullet in a gun? Like what is the purpose? What is the point?
They found 5 live rounds on that set in different guns.
Why? But why?
Well, we still don't have that's going to come out, I believe, at the trial. But I will say, being on movie sets, and usually I'm on, when I've worked in the past, it's been bigger productions where even if they put smoke in a scene, you guys, the assistant director will be like, okay, we are having smoke in this scene, everybody. Or I remember I was on set on Chicago MD the week COVID got discovered, and somebody 3 sound stages over had been diagnosed with COVID. They stopped production. They gathered everybody in a room. They said, here's the deal. We're going home. We're shutting down production. Like, they take safety so seriously on these sets because of things like this. But this is why it shows it was a very rookie production. They were trying to make their days because they didn't have enough time and people were rushing.
But that still doesn't. And again, I'm not saying that, like, why wouldn't they have a blank or a rubber bullet? Not to say that a rubber bullet couldn't actually severely hurt someone, if not maybe kill them if it's shot in the right area. But like, why wouldn't they have rubber or blank bullets? I don't understand that part.
Well, like, remember, you guys might not remember this film, but way back in the 90s, there was a film called The Crow with Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son. And he died. He played the Crow. He died because there was a blank in the gun and it misfired and the shrapnel killed him. So these things even happen with blanks. But what happened is when the gun gets handed over, it should have been blank. Alex should have checked it, and then they should have rehearsed, and he shouldn't have pulled the trigger. He also lied about pulling the trigger. And they said, listen, the FBI even inspected this gun. There's no way that this gun just went off. And listen, you kind of know that it's like, yeah, he probably did pull the trigger. Like, I mean, he didn't do it on purpose. But like the fact that he's acting like it's a miracle gun all of a sudden, like that's, he knows.
Yeah. That's just, it's horrifying, traumatic.
It really is. And that now we're going to have to deal with, I mean, I figure by the end of this trial, Hilaria is going to be full blown speaking Spanish, not even using American anymore. Cause I just wish she'd stop, because if you're Alec Baldwin, you watch the news and she comes home and goes, hey babe, you're not making this any better. Could you not do the accent so heavy when you're out talking? Cause you're standing up for me, which I love, but please don't do that.
100%. I mean,
oh my God, Dana! I just thought, wait, did you watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City this season?
I got halfway through. I honestly
no, it was horrible. It was horrible. But I will say, Heather Gay got a black eye, you guys. You all know this. We still don't know how it happened, but she said, hey, Jen, to distract from talking about you, talk about my black eye. Maybe Hillary did that for Alec, goes, hey, I'm going to use my ridiculous accent to take the focus off of you, Alec, and did that for her guy.
I mean, if that's what she did, it's clearly working. Here we are.
Yeah. By the way, the judge drops the charges and now they go after Hillary. Like, we need to find out.
Right. Like, you know what? The worst issue is that you're pretending you're Spanish. This is what we're really going after today.
Dana, what if the first question in the Alec Baldwin trial is that the prosecution holds up a cucumber and Alec, what is this? How do you say it?
Swear on this cucumber that your wife is from Spain. On this cucumber.
How does your wife say cucumber?
How do you say it?
Cookie. How you say cucumber? Okay. Will you explain Mindy Kaling to me?
What part about her?
I mean, all of it really, but I will say, okay, this is, and I know I'm a dude and I don't usually pay attention to this stuff, but I do have me and this other, like, these are two straight guys, me and my buddy. For years now, we have sent back and forth photos of Mindy Kaling. And my buddy is like a sports dude. He doesn't even really, but he started seeing when Mindy was trying to be like, well, she is, but like an influencer, she'd pose in her backyard. And we would comment, like, because we were like, Mindy's face is getting so different. And we weren't like, but we were kind of sending it back and forth. And we did this for like years. But right. She has gone through, and I noticed on your stories, you were talking about this recently. How do you explain the work that Mindy Kaling has had done? And I'm once again not saying this is good or bad.
So she's had, I put 3 reels up about her. She looks amazing. She is literally what I aspire to be in terms of work. Like, I want to be, she's now in her 40s or 40, something like that. She looks better now than she did at 20. And that's what I want. I want people to look at me when I'm 40 and be like, she looks literally amazing. That's what I want for myself. So manifesting right now, plus
wait. I feel like you should put a photo. Could you put a photo and pin it to your IG of what you looked like in high school so we can compare it to every day?
Yeah, actually, I look pretty similar to this, but like a little bit better. But like 16, oh my God. I was 16, 17 years ago. Holy shit. Okay. I was gonna be like, that was half my life ago. No, I look very, very similar, but it also, like, who in their 30s looks similar to when they were 16. I think I look better and I've improved, but you know, it took work. There's a lot that went into this for me to look where people don't quite know my age. They think I look amazing, and I'm like, I got doxed by look.
Do you have a place where you're gonna stop? I feel like, you look amazing, but I always feel like with women, like, when do you decide? When's the stopping point? Like, when has it gone too far?
Well, you should never stop in terms of its maintenance. So you have to keep going and make sure that you're doing it. But there is a stopping point or a boundary, like you're saying, where you don't do too much. So 2 things. First of all, I always look at to enhance or tweak myself and to maintain what I look like. So as I get older, to continue to look as myself as possible. But one thing I always recommended to patients, clients, whatever, is that your very first picture, that before you ever had any work done, have that picture so that you can compare. Obviously, you're going to age, so you're never going to look like that picture, but you can start to see, oh, my cheeks are getting too big. My lips are starting to look ridiculous. Having that comparison kind of grounds you, because otherwise it's kind of like anything else. You get really accustomed to your lips being this size, and then you want to go bigger, and it's like, baby, it's already triple the size of your natural lips. Why are
and
you
then Lisa Rinna happens.
Right. You got Lisa Rinna, you got Jen Shaw, like all of these ladies are a little bit overdone. It's because they're forgetting what they originally looked like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally get that. But Mindy Kaling seems like she has repeatedly gone back. It's like she's playing blackjack and she keeps going, hit me to the, hit me. Yeah. And I feel like she's going to bust one of these days, but she actually looks really good right now. She looked really weird. Like 3 years ago, she had that Vicky Gunvalson look. I know you don't watch OC, but she came back one season and her face had not settled from the work she had done. Yes. And people were literally in the first episode going, what the fuck is going on with Vicky? And it just hadn't settled yet.
Right. So I disagree about the hitting blackjack. I totally get what you're saying, except for that I think that her work is perfect and perfectly planned, and she looks like herself and still looks Indian and looks fucking amazing, like time after time. Yes, unfortunately, work has to settle, and the more extensive that work is, like if she had a facelift or whatever, like I believe she had a facelift. It needs to settle. So there is a little bit of oh, you look a little bit weird. And you're like, don't worry, give me a few months and I'm going to look fucking amazing. It's kind of like boob jobs. Like even the best boob jobs for a little bit, they're a little bit too high. They're a little bit too, and then they drop and you're like, okay, now they look phenomenal. Right.
Wait. How do they keep dropping the whole time you have them?
No. It's just when they're initially done,
okay.
It takes a minute, and it doesn't matter what it is, any kind of work. I actually saw this. So I had a upper blepharoplasty. So that's where they cut some of the eyelid skin. They take a little bit of fat from your eyelids. I thought at 1 month, like 1 month out, I looked amazing. I was like, oh my God, like this was me in the mirror. I was like, oh my God, eyes, amazing. I thought it was amazing. Like I was over here praising my surgeon. I was like, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself ever. I'm now almost 7 months out. It's even better. I'm like, and he did tell me, he's like, it'll take 6 to 12 months for you to see your full results. At 1 month, I was like, take more pictures of me. And now I'm like, holy shit, this is even better than it was 1 month out.
And by the way, didn't you post this journey? You posted this journey on your Instagram.
I post about literally everything I have done on my page, because, you know, if I'm asking for celebrities and other public figures to be honest about the work that they do, like I'm going to show that, because I'm not a hypocrite.
Oh, here's this buccal fat. We mentioned this before. Buccal fat is there's a big sea of buccal fat in Los Angeles right now that you can swim in, because everybody's buccal fat goes to like a big pool in the middle.
Right. No, we should make it into like gas for cars.
Can we stop this though? Because it really scares me, and it makes me think of that what is that painting? Is it Van Gogh, The Shriek, or no? Edward Munch?
Yeah.
The guy's like really crazy.
Yeah.
Like
also, I need to send it to you. When Vicky Gunvalson was screaming at Andy, I was like, I need someone. Like I did a very poor version where I just cut her face and put it on the screen. And I was like, I need someone who's like really great at this to make this for me. And a follower posted her face on the screen. I will send it to you. It is amazing. Like I need this printed. Like it maybe needs to be in my background. Like it's Vicky like this. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please.
So buccal fat, when it's for the right person, it is literally amazing. Buccal fat is this fat right here and I know this is a podcast, so like no one's going to see. It is literally just right here, not the rest of your face. It's just this pinchable fat right here. There are people who have extra, quote unquote, like I never want to say anyone's natural body is like not right, but like there are some people who have way more fat here than others. A really great example, and again, I'm not saying he needs buccal fat removal, but a really great example is Kanye. So whenever you think about someone who has chipmunk cheeks, where they have more mass here than they have here, that is a person who would be a great candidate for buccal fat removal. And Kanye,
like, you have the time. You have the time right now. Kanye has the time right now.
I know, but he didn't. I mean, no one. Listen, it's no one. It's like saying having a small nose. Like it's not like everyone needs a small nose, but if you have a much bigger nose, like this, you know, this is something for you. Like this is an option. So anyone who you would characterize as having chipmunk cheeks, like where they have bigger mass down here than they have on the rest of their face, they're probably a good candidate. And they don't have to take all of it. They can just take it where they look a little bit less full down here. What's the trend that's been happening is people like me, who we don't really have a lot of fat there. Everyone has fat here, first of all. Like no one doesn't have fat. But like taking it and then you're like this, which looks fine, I guess, when you're like 20 or 30, but we also lose fat everywhere in our face as we age. So when you think about longevity, you're 40, 50, 60 years old and you're losing fat here. Now you're going to look skeletal. Like now we're going to start being able to see all the bones underneath that we don't want to see. So there are some surgeries like a brow lift that ages very well, because as we age, our brows actually drop. Bluff, like what I had, as we age, we get extra skin and it starts to droop a little bit. So these are surgeries that age pretty well. Buccal fat is not a surgery that ages really well, because we lose fat here. So then you start to look kind of skeletal, a little bit gaunt. It's just not attractive.
So you can't gain the buccal fat back.
No, once you remove those fat cells, they can't gain back, but it can be rectified. We can go in with filler or with fat transfer, but it's like, okay, so now you're having a procedure where now you're taking some fat from like your arms or your stomach and putting it back.
Can I get my ass fat in my cheeks? Like,
yes, but why would you take it from your ass? Take it from your stomach. We want the ass.
Like ass face.
No. But we want the ass. We just the stomach up here. Get your under eyes and your buckle at the same time.
Do you have like 15 more minutes? Are you good? Or are you rushed?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Beyonce, you guys, had a triumphant return to the stage this weekend in Dubai. In Dubai, she got paid $24 million for the, and I want to tell you, the set list was so weird. I mean, I loved it, but the set list had no songs from Renaissance. It had like 3 or 4 bangers in terms of her hits. Like it had Halo. She had
Love on Top,
Love on Top, or she had Drunken
Love. Sorry, Drunken Love.
Yeah, Drunken Love. But nothing like, she didn't have Single Ladies. She didn't have, but it was a very exclusive thing. And they made all the people, they told all the people they had to put their phone in pouches, but this is a very rich influencer crowd and nobody obeyed it. Caroline Stanberry from Real Housewives of Dubai, you should go to her Instagram. She posted most of the concert on her Instagram stories, and she was really close to the fact where I was like, Beyonce, I was like expecting Beyonce to look over and go, girl, put the fucking phone down.
But why did Beyonce not want anyone filming it? That's what I want to know. Why didn't she want anyone filming it?
Well, I think it was also, they were celebrating the opening of the new Hotel Atlantis, and you guys, the production in this, she had like 60 people on stage. The fireworks nonstop the whole show. But I think it was the hotel in that, because it was an exclusive one night only event. She's not doing that set list ever again. She didn't do any Renaissance songs, so it was just for the people there. But they also had so many influencers, and they had like,
they brought influencers in. Like I saw Isra, whatever her name is, Isra, like she was like, oh, this was paid for by the Royal Atlantis.
Well, I mean, you had Jason, you even had Bachelor people like Jason Tardik and like all these, I was like, wow, they're bringing Bachelor people over to see this. And it looked amazing, but there was also this video, you guys, Kendall was there, and you can see her in this video. There was like a mouth reader, and you can see in it that she's saying, I've been to Dubai 3 times. The first 2 were horrible, but this is actually pretty fun tonight. And I was like, that's hysterical. Like, these people have to realize they're being filmed at all times. Watch what you say. Did you watch any of the footage of this?
I did, actually. And I was so jealous that I was not invited, first of all. So,
but by the way, next year, verified 263, this could be the next thing for you, is going to Dubai on these trips. Wait, what was that? Did you follow that?
Yes. Okay. So I actually just posted to my stories. I was like, I literally do not even like Tarte as a makeup brand, besides their Shape Tape. Shape Tape is awesome, but the rest of it do not use. And I was like,
okay, but Dana, I'm a dude. Explain to all of us, or just mainly me. All you girls probably know about it already. There was a Tarte influencer trip where they flew a lot of influencers to Dubai, right?
Like 50 or something, all to Dubai. And it was like all out, like they got to do all these amazing things in the desert. Like it was just like this amazing, ridiculous trip, to the point where I'm on Reddit. I love Reddit, where Redditors are like, Tarte is like a dying brand who's been losing money the last like 3-4 years. Like, and that's true. You can see, how do they afford this? I mean, obviously it's in their marketing budget, but they were joking, like, how is a company that's been losing money regularly for the last few years able to support this? And it was because it's in conjunction with a Dubai, like, tourism budget or something.
Yeah.
And Nicole Pellegrino, who I don't know her. I want her to know me. I love her so much. She's a writer for Betches.
I
I
love
follow,
Betches. Yeah.
yeah. So she's a writer for Betches. She posted this, I guess, TikTok reels, whatever, where she's just like me, like not being invited to the Tarte thing. And she's like, you know, showing her through the stages of her being very jealous and upset that she's not there, which is how I feel, even though, again, I'm not even a Tarte user. And I'm like, sir, who did not invite me because I want to be there? And then it ended with, oh, and Beyonce came out of retirement basically to perform. And she's like, like, do you not? But yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
No, listen, I want to be an Old Navy influencer and they take me to like Delaware or something like that. You know, like it's just Old Navy.
Delaware is a dream. You're going to Wisconsin if it's Old Navy. Are you joking?
Yeah, hey man, I'll be like old now. I'll be like beautiful Wisconsin. Look at this, and I'm trying to think who they'll bring out Vanilla Ice from retirement, and you know it'll be amazing. What else is on your radar this upcoming week? What are you? Because I feel like I don't know how you get inspired to post what you post, but are you having always like a bunch of ideas of like, I want to keep my eye on this celebrity. I want to go over here. Like, what's on the agenda?
So on the agenda is Miley Cyrus. There's a lot of people like, what's going on with her? She looks literally amazing, but very different than her normal self. She just looks amazing. I'm blasting flowers. Love it. I love all the drama surrounding it. Everything that's going on.
Number one stream song.
We're all fucking fuck Liam. Like literally. I'm like, how could you do this to our girl Miley? But she looks amazing. So she's on the agenda. I also last fall got hit up by a brand who what they do is they do influencer makeup and skincare. And so I declined because no, I'm not going to white label skincare, but I am going to talk about like, this is what they do. Like, and I can't tell you which influencers and celebrities really make their own product. I would assume most of them do not, because like that takes a lot of like chemistry degrees and like whatever. So even your most favorite, like whether it's Kylie or Selena or whatever, they're not making their products.
Yeah. It's not like they have a lab at their house and they stumbled upon like, oh my God, I was in the lab and I stumbled upon a great skincare brand.
Right. I would argue that the closest would be Rihanna, not that she makes it, but that she was like, I want it to be skin color inclusive. Like because she was one of the first, and she actually has caused a lot of skincare brands to include more skin tones, like when it comes to their like foundation, you know, like keep in mind like other races. So not to say that she makes her own, she definitely doesn't make her own, but she was like, I want a lot more options for brown and black and yellow and other skin tones. Like I want all of these skin tones included. But a lot of other celebrities, they're white labeling. They're just picking like, oh, I want a vitamin C. Yes, I want a niacinamide. Yes, I want this. And then you can pay extra for packaging. So anyway, a post that I want to make is like, even me, I was approached with like, make your own skincare. And it would literally be me being like, click, click, click. Here's a logo. Here's the how I want my package to look like. Let's make a skincare brand. And you guys are paying like $20 to $80 for something that costs $1 to make. So
but that's why everybody, I think, is getting into that. If you're a celebrity, you automatically now go, you got to do a makeup. You got to do. I also heard, is Hailey Bieber's good? I heard it was. Is that not true?
I mean, it's good in terms of, is it a good lip gloss? Yeah, but like, it's not more special than any other lip gloss on there. She's not creating it. She literally picked out a lip gloss that is already on the market, put her name on it. You know, she's white labeling a product that's already out on the market. It's not amazing. And I love that she has extremely filled lips. She's like, look at how full my lips look. And I'm like, oh God.
They're already full. I want to do lipstick for men, but it's just chapstick.
Clear lipstick. That sounds like a marketing angle.
Bro stick or something. Okay, finally, what are you watching on TV recently? I know you love the new Miley song, but in terms of pop culture, what are you watching? What are you and your dude watching together? What have you been watching lately?
Oh Lord, honestly, I started watching that 90s show. I don't know how I feel about it.
Oh yeah, like that 70s show, you guys. I said on Friday that it's on Netflix right now. They have the reboot, and it has a lot of the same characters in it, but
Original.
they have new, younger, like daughters and sons of the original
Yeah.
cast.
So it's actually quite painful. Like the acting is so bad, especially with the kids.
Really?
Yeah, so bad. And
Oh, okay, okay, the
I'm
kids,
like,
yeah.
I'm trying to like, was it that bad when we watched that 70s show? Like,
No, it was
it that
great.
bad?
I liked that 70s.
No,
I thought
I loved
you
it.
know what I have not seen an episode yet, but what I'm theorizing just from I think that the cast they had on that 70s show for that young of an age, they were all so good at characters. And usually you don't get child actors that can do comedy like that in terms of
Right.
characterizations. Like Ashton Kutcher was playing a character, Fez was a character. These are extreme. Like Topher Grace had such a deadpan. And I think the new
Yes.
cast, from what I see in the previews, don't seem like they have that character format down that the original cast had initially. So maybe that's it, but I haven't seen it. But I would guess I thought those kids were really special in terms of the casting for the original.
Right. I mean, I'm a huge Mila Kunis fan. Fez, I
Yeah.
was telling my fiance, like, I was like, they had me thinking Fez was this like lame, not attractive loser. And then when he was dating Lindsay Lohan, I was like, this man is gorgeous. They had
Oh
me
my God.
thinking this
Dana.
man was was
Dana.
an
Oh my
ugly
God.
loser.
You had a
Yeah.
crush on what's his
No,
name?
no,
What is his
no.
name?
What I'm saying is like, in the show, like we're like, oh, he's just this
Yeah,
weird
he
lame
was
loser.
yeah.
And then I saw like a picture of him like not on that 70s show, and I was like, they tricked me. This man is beautiful. I thought he was this lame loser. But no, so I am watching the show, but it's like weird, like they have very obvious like pauses where they're like waiting for applause and like
Yeah, I hear
I
there's a
don't
weird
know.
the laugh.
It's weird.
I read a review that talked about the laugh track in it was we're not used to laugh tracks anymore,
Yeah.
and that possibly. But who knows? I mean, I'm gonna watch it and check it out. Anything else that you're watching?
Let me see off the top of my head. I mean, I've been watching, so I'm a little bit late, but I'm just now finishing Real Housewives of Miami, which is
So
fantabulous.
good. That's what I
Like,
keep telling people. It's worth getting Peacock because it is really actually great television.
it
It's a
is
great
okay.
housewives show.
Everyone who doesn't love Larsa, everyone who's like, I don't like Larsa, I'm like, do you not see how incredible she is for television? This woman was made for I cannot believe she wasn't on Miami for all the other years. Like, I'm like, you
Well, that
are for
was
television.
you got to
I'm like,
watch the first season. You got to watch the first
I
season when
did.
she was on.
I have. And this season, Larsa is she's delivering. She's giving
Well,
us
you know
all
what I
everything we need
realized?
for Housewives.
She's a quiet Lisa Rinna. Like she's like stealthy.
Ooh, I love
She because she
that.
stirs shit up in the weirdest way. Like her tactic, and Dr. Nicole in this week's episode pointed it out beautifully of like saying you pick something not true about somebody and you drop it at this weird moment. And it reminded me so much of Rinna. The only difference is Larsa does it quietly. She doesn't raise her
With
voice.
tact.
And like it's like so that is like makes it kind of unique because it's a different form of what Rinna was doing. And when she does it quietly, it's even more scary because you're like, damn, you're not even, it doesn't even seem like you're invested. You're just passing along information.
You know what? I did not think of that, but that just makes me like her even more. I'm like, yes, you need to be on TV forever. And then
Oh, did you see
Lisa,
Rinna?
go ahead.
Did you see Rinna and Erica Jane in Paris for Paris Fashion Week? And Rinna was dressed up as the Joker. She was in this like plaid, like looks like one of my mom's quilts. She was like dressed
Yes.
in with a beret.
So I am honestly a Lisa Rinna fan. I'm not going to say the last couple seasons I've not been disappointed. I have been, but like, I like that she stirs the pot because in my opinion, Beverly Hills, they are like, they don't talk about the stuff. As Bethany Frankel would say, they don't mention it all, right? Like they have like, oh, don't talk about this. Don't talk about that. We're going to keep that out. And then we are watching them like fight over bullshit like Pantygate or Rabbitgate or whatever. And I'm like, you guys have so much more interesting stuff that we want to see. and you're not showing it to us. So I have a lot of criticism for Beverly Hills, even though it is the original that's the reason why I became a Housewives fan, was Beverly Hills. But Rinna would, instigate a lot of things. And I was like, good, because Beverly Hills would be fucking boring because everyone's like walking fine lines.
I agreed with that sentiment 3 years ago. I just think it just became, like I said, she became a parody of herself. And so like, also when you don't have a reliable narrator, it doesn't matter. Like, it just doesn't, like, she could say anything and I'd be like, oh, well, there's Lisa. But you're right in terms of, and it'll be really curious this season. Cause like, everybody's like, well, it won't be as good. Probably not for a season. They've got to rebuild. Like, these shows just don't pick up where they left off. And like, I would love to hear Kyle talk about her Ozempic journey. I would love to hear Kyle, like, I would love the reality, but Salt Lake, that's why it didn't work at all, is because none of those ladies are sharing a real journey. They're all fucking liars. And it really was, and I think it just completely fell apart.
Right. No, I agree. So if you think about like some of the ones that, in my opinion, are the more successful ones, even if they're not getting all the clout, I mean, obviously New York, but like New York, you have like, even like when, oh my gosh, I already forgot her name, Luann, like she got arrested and she was going through, like, she talked about that. Yeah. Like, imagine if Kyle got arrested. Do you think it would be on Beverly Hills, like, against her will? She would not be like, oh yeah, like,
well, I mean, listen, we had Kim arrested and she wasn't on the show at the time, but like, if she was, I mean, they had to dance around certain things with Kim Richards when she was on the show back in the day,
right?
Because
like,
she was dealing with real issues.
But
Luann, it got brought up all the time about her issues. They used it against her. I mean, like Bethany had a whole monologue about how insane she was running around in her lingerie, having to like, my boyfriend sent you to rehab on his dime. Like it was like, everything's a cabaret, not everything's a cabaret or some shit. It was amazing.
Right. But, so that's what I'm saying is like some of these more successful, like in my opinion, successful New York, like old New York, Potomac, like Miami, they're like Lisa on Miami, like we are witnessing like a blow by blow account of her being cheated on and being left and being divorced and her trash ass husband being trash. We are watching it in real time, it feels like, versus like if that were happening I mean, look at all the stuff that's happening with Erica and we're barely getting like, oh, okay, there's a court case, whatever.
If we knew the reality of Erica's actual situation, how she's paying her legal bills, where's all this dick she keeps saying she's getting, it would be fascinating. But instead, we have Erica always like, how dare, if you're gonna look at Erica, we gotta look at everybody else. Like, it's like, dude, I don't care. Show us what you're going through. Like, Mike, okay, anyways, I've taken up so much of your time, but I always do this when you're on. IG Famous by Dana is the Instagram account. Where else can we support you? What else is in the works that we can support you with? It's been too long.
Honestly, same name. I have to build up my TikTok account because even though I'm in my 30s, I have to do that. So I'll be posting videos on there.
I'm just like, please stop with more social media apps. Like, I can't, I need everything to just slow down. Cause I was even trying to figure out TikTok and I love watching it too much, but like every time I go to make something, I'm just like, oh man, I don't know, but I don't know. Anyways, go follow her on TikTok. I'll put that information in the show notes, but hopefully, like I said, you have an open door anytime you want to come in and talk anything. Okay.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Have a good week, you guys.